everyone, it's Jess from MHYT and welcome to spur trimming day here on the farm. There are a lot of different methods out there for trimming spurs on your chickens, and some of them are not as good because they can cause your chickens some pain and discomfort. The method that I found that is the easiest and kind of the safest for your chickens is using a rotary tool to basically trim or file down the very edge of the spur. A spur is just like a nail, like on your dog or your guinea pig or even your chicken's nails. There's a quick in the center of there. So if you're not careful, you could accidentally nick that quick and cause your chicken to bleed. There's other methods out there that have you taking the sheath completely off of the spur, and that too can cause a lot of bleeding, and there's a lot of nerves underneath there. So by using the rotary tool here, we're basically doing like we do on our own nails and filing down the edge of the spur. The reason that we trim our spurs are for a couple reasons. One, if you have an older rooster or even a hen and the spur is getting really big, it can get close to their leg and it can actually cause some damage to their leg. So you want to keep an eye on that. The other thing is, if you have a lot of roosters that have really kind of pointy spurs, they can cause some damage to your hens. So you want to make sure that those spurs are not too pointy. What we're going to do is we're going to take that rotary tool and we're going to round off the edge of the spur. And today I am actually going to be working on one of my hens. I have a golden laced Polish that she has spurs. She's had them her whole life. And she has pretty big spurs. When I'm doing my spur trimming, I make sure that I have a helper. You can definitely do this yourself. You kind of have to tuck the bird underneath your arm, but it's really helpful when you have somebody that can hold the bird and kind of help to comfort the bird while you're trimming that spur. I have lots of towels on hand here and I've got my rotary tool, so I'm going to go get our chicken friend and we're going to give her spurs a nice trim. All right, so we have our friend all tucked in here. She's a bit of an older hen, so you can definitely tell that on her feet here and on her spurs. We've got her wrapped in a towel and she's nice and calm, and my helper here is helping to hold her very gently into place. For my rotary tool, I'm using a kind of medium grit sandpaper here because I'm just rounding off these edges here. Think kind of like our emery boards that we use for filing our own nails. I'm going to use it kind of on a medium power, and I'm just going to very gently round off the edges of those spurs. On her spurs here, you can see a really great example of where the quick is and where the end of her spur is. So we're just working on this very edge here, and we're going to go nice and slow and make sure she's comfortable the whole time. Just a little note, while I'm filing, I make sure to kind of wrap my hand around her foot, and I'm using my hand almost as a barrier to make sure that her leg and her body is safe while we're doing the filing. I also make sure to watch if she gets kind of agitated or starts moving a lot. We go ahead and we stop the filing, kind of re-wrap, re-calm her, and then we start again. All right, we can see here that all I did was just smooth off that edge of her spur here to make sure that it's not pointy or anywhere near her legs or that she can hurt any of her friends in the coop. I'm going to go ahead and take her back to the coop and give her some treats for doing such a great job. Hopefully I've given you some inspiration on how to give your chicken spurs a nice filing. If you have any questions, be sure to let us know in the comments below. As always, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that bell so you're the first to know every time a new video has been released. It's time to get back to work and see who else needs their spurs trimmed.